Good evening and welcome to the Varsity Live postgame show. I'm your host, Olivia Prickett. We had an action-packed night full of high school football throughout the country, and we are bringing you the postgame reports and interviews from our interns in Arizona, Las Vegas, Alabama, Philadelphia, Florida, and Houston. First up, we have Jace Grenke reporting on Brophy versus Williamsfield game. Let's bring in Jace. Hey Jace, how's it going?
Good, how you doing?
I'm good. How was the game?
It was an instant classic, Olivia. Brophy got out to an early 21 to nothing lead in the early parts of the second quarter, and then early in the second half, the Williamsfield Nighthawks turned on their offense, and they ended up tying the game late in the fourth, 28 to 28. And with about 7 seconds left, the Brophy Broncos scored the game-winning touchdown.
Yeah, I saw Devin Fitzgerald scored that last-minute touchdown. How was the environment in that stadium when that happened?
Oh, it was crazy. The student section was just below us to the right. They were going nuts. Definitely heard some boos from the student section on that play, but it was
Yeah,
crazy.
that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for your recap, and congrats to Brophy for the win.
Thank you.
Have a good one. All right, we're gonna cut to a short commercial break, and we'll be right back after the break.
This is Maya Hall with the Varsity Sports Show on Arizona High School Cheer. As football season starts, the real work begins. Most competitive team sports receive 3 months of games and matches to determine state qualification, as cheer gets a one-and-done performance to advance. The cheerleader's job during football season is ultimately to cheer on their teams and reel in the crowd, but they also have their agenda to rep those skills in their routine. Arizona high school cheerleading teams have been and will continue to work for the Spirit Line State Champions hardware. Arizona Veterans Memorial Coliseum is predicted to host the AIA Championship on January 16th to 18th of 2025. Red Mountain High School humbly took the D1 gold last season, and it would be nice to see them as back-to-back champions in 2025. In the D2 division, Cactus Shadows is working diligently to redeem themselves of second place and win their 15th title this year. Santan Foothills in D3 is looking for redemption as well, while North Valley Christian is looking to keep their place at the top of D4. Keep working hard at practice and on the sideline. Good luck to all.
Next, joining us live is Quentin Presley with a recap of Blue Ridge versus St. John's High School football in Arizona. Let's bring in Quentin.
Hey, Olivia.
Hey, Quentin. How did the game go tonight?
Olivia, it was an interesting game to say the least. These two teams have history, right? So we were over there in St. John's, Arizona, and the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets were going off against the home team, St. John Redskins. These two teams faced off last year, and obviously, as we all know, the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets, who are a top 10 team in the 3A division, won it pretty convincingly, 38-14. And we saw more of that domination pretty much here tonight. However, so with Blue Ridge coming off of a victory against Monument, very dominant, 46-0. Their offense was rolling pretty much the entire first half.
Right.
So it was 24-0 in the first half, and we knew it was going to pretty much stay like that the whole game. Going into the second half, the Redskins saw a little bit of life, and they had a great drive with 4 minutes left in the fourth. And Oscar Jaramillo had a run at the 3-yard line, ran it in for 6, and they got the 2-point conversion, which kind of showed, they had a little bit of fight left in them, and they were able to get on the board.
Right, and that's what we wanna see from teams, especially in the 3A league, just fighting and, proving themselves and, getting ahead in those, tough situations and pulling through.
No, most definitely. I agree. And what's for St. John to host a very competitive Yellow Jacket program, I mean, they've been good at football for the last 5 years. So coming into this, they knew it was going to be a challenge. And ultimately, to only lose by 16 that's almost a tip your cap kind of moment, because this St.
Right.
John Redskins team could be pretty competitive moving forward. And to start off your first game playing against one of the best 3A teams in the division, it's
Right.
something good about, okay, let's take this as a lesson and move forward.
Yeah. So definitely expecting to see some good football from the St. John's Blue Yellow Jackets, and yeah, we're pretty excited, and we'll keep an eye on them throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they have a pretty good schedule moving forward, and Blue Ridge made a run last year. We could see if they do it again.
Right. Yeah. Thank you so much for your recap, and have a great rest of your night.
Awesome. Thank you, Olivia.
Yeah, of course. All right. Next, we're going to hear from Mason Byers, one of our Arizona interns, who caught up with the head coach at Horizon High School in the post game. Here's what Coach Ditmore had to say.
Reporting to you from the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Hannah Mack, here with head coach Andy Litton. The final score tonight against El Camino was 42-20. Big win for you guys. Congratulations. Way to start the season on a win. How are you feeling?
Euphoric. You put all that work in. It's been a tumultuous offseason, learning the kids and learning the culture, and for us to come out and be able to get that first win, it's a load off the shoulders for sure.
Absolutely. Did anything about the outcome or performance of this game surprise you?
I thought I was really proud of our kids, how mentally strong they were. You just never know when your kids get in a tough situation. We got real close there in the second half, and our kids really reset, and got tougher, in the long run, and were able to pull away in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, well fought. Is there anything that you'll be working on going into this next week of practice, facing off against Saguaro next week?
Yeah, so we got to shore up the turnovers. That was a big one. Kickoff, we need to make sure that we shore that up. I thought our coverage wasn't that great. But, it's nice when you have a kid like Becca Barney that comes out and shows out for you and makes up for mistakes. So we definitely need to fix things up and get better from week 1 to week 2.
Well, thank you so much. Well fought. Good luck on the rest of your season.
Thank you. Hey, on Toro's on.
Signing off.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank
All right, great to hear from the Mountain View Toros coach. Sorry, I kind of segued into the wrong interview, but next we're going to be hearing from Beckham Barney, and we'll run that interview right now.
Reporting to you from the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Hannah Mack, here with player of the game, Beckham Barney, number 10. How do you feel?
Pretty good. Good win from the team today. Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. You had 2 tackles for losses and 3 touchdowns. What would you say was your personal highlight of the game?
Probably just getting the win, kind of coming back, seeing the scoreboard after. It was just a lot of work was put into this, and that was just a great feeling to be with the boys.
Absolutely. If you could shout out a teammate, what do you feel like a highlight of someone else on your team was?
I feel like Brody Anderson played a great game tonight, came in hard, hit the quarterback a lot, had a good pick six, so he kind of just flew around and led the defense tonight.
Well fought. Thank you so much. Good luck on the rest of your season.
Thank you.
Great to hear from Beckham Barney on his successful win tonight for the Toros. Next, we have Vince D'Alessio, who called play-by-play for Mountain View versus El Camino in Oceanside, California. We're going to bring in Vince right now and see how that game went.
Hey, Olivia. Wow.
Hey, Vince, how's it going?
Oh, my goodness. I got to tell you, I am just in shock. We made this trip out to Oceanside, and it was incredible. First of all, the weather was something else. It was 70 degrees tonight. I mean,
Yeah.
And it
That
was
California weather.
it was a tale of two teams. The El Camino Wildcats are going to have a very successful season, but Mountain View, the Toros, just came out and took it to them. And El Camino made it a game for a while, got within a couple of points into early in the third quarter, and then Mountain View just took over behind. You just heard from the player of the game tonight, Beckham Barney. Beckham, who does it on both sides of the ball, an incredible linebacker. He's a big body, 6'3", 210, and they stuck him in at running back, had 3 touchdowns. Highlighted, he had one early that was a 35-yard carry up the middle, and then just put the game on his shoulders late in the game. Brady Goodman, quarterback for the Toros, I don't think he had an incomplete pass in the first half. I mean, very efficient pocket passer, was able to sprint out successfully, found his receivers, dink and dunk, here we go, back and forth, and just really took advantage of some incredible playmaking by receivers, crisp route running, adjustments made. Running game was solid tonight. They put together an all-around great game. Coach Andy Litton came out in a big way with his debut as Mountain View's head coach. Defensively, you want to talk about defense. The interceptions, it was the hits. I mean, it was a complete game and well worth the trip. Congratulations to the Toros. We are so excited to be covering Mountain View this year. We're going to be on the call next week for their home debut, their season premiere against the Saguaro Sabercats. That is going to be a game of the ages. I am so excited, guys. Brown Road is going to be the place to be next Friday night.
Right. It's amazing to hear the Mountain View Toros, have a great season, great start to their season so far this early on, especially in an away game, not even on home ground. So hoping for a hot start from the Mountain View Toros once they get back on home ground.
Absolutely. And the other thing, folks, make sure you listen to the Varsity Sports Show tomorrow morning, AM 1060 KDUS Arizona from 9 to 11. We'll be hosting the show from San Diego, but we've got a lineup of guests, coaches that'll be calling in, other guests, our amazing team with content, interviews, co-hosted by a couple of our amazing team. You don't want to miss it. It's the place to be. 9 a.m., AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, and the 1060 app if you're out of state. Olivia, great job tonight. Great job by our team overall. It's been an incredible slate of games.
Yeah, amazing coverage tonight. Thank you so much for hopping on. An amazing job covering the Mountain View game.
Absolutely. Time to go home.
Have a good night. All right, there you go. You heard it first. The Mountain View Toros did an amazing job tonight in their game against El Camino and Oceanside. Away game, it's tough to get used to the away court, but they did an amazing job tonight. Next, we have Adrian Carmona reporting from Florida, who's one of our talented interns. We have a post-game report on American Heritage and Chaminade. We're going to roll that right now.
Hello, everyone. My name is Adrian Carmona from the University of Florida, and here is the post-game report for Florida football this weekend. American Heritage bounced back from their Week 1 loss in a big way tonight. They defeated Western in a dominating fashion, 51-12. It was a big game for the Patriots through the air as they took down the Wildcats to earn their first win of the season. They will look to win their second straight game next week against Chaminade Madonna. Number 13 Coco's impressive win streak continues. They now have won 14 straight games since last season after shutting out Mainland. It was the Brady Hart and Javon Boggs game as the dynamic duo connected for multiple touchdowns. And what was an absolute classic game, Chaminade Madonna fell to Blanche Ely 35-34 in an overtime thriller. The game was constantly back and forth, with both teams trading touchdowns from the first quarter all the way to overtime. Blanche Ely scored to put them up 35-28 in overtime. Then Chaminade scored, but unfortunately they could not convert the 2-point conversion as they dropped to 0-2 on the season. They will look for a bounce-back game against American Heritage, which seems to be one of the most hyped-up matchups as we enter next week's games. That's going to be all for my post-game report. From the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Adrian Carmona.
Thank you so much for that post-game report, Adrian. We will be right back after this short commercial with the next with a recording from Matthew Tiske.
Hi guys, my name is Madison and I'm interning at Varsity Sports Show this fall semester. I'll be playing a role in photo and social media this year. I've always had a passion for sports and was a soccer player until I switched roles to become a professional swimmer. Now, with that being said, I hope to capture that type of energy that I experienced in my years of swimming. Thank you, guys.
You may remember me from the spring semester. My name is Alexandra Medina, and I am a sports journalism student at ASU Cronkite. My passion for sports began when I was tuned into ESPN at just the age of 6 years old. I am excited to be back with the Varsity Sports Show to bring you the latest sports news in Arizona and across the country. Thanks for tuning in to the Varsity Sports Show. I am Alexandra Medina.
All right, with our last recap of the night, we have Matthew Namakama reporting on the Shadow Creek football game against Summer Creek. Here's the report.
This is Matthew Wakamo reporting from Houston, Texas. Here for the postgame report. Shadow Creek High School lost to Summer Creek 42-0 in their non-district game. The Sharks have failed to score a touchdown against the Bulldogs, and miss of the matchup was a shooting threat, but no evidence was found during the game. During the first quarter, Summer Creek was up 14-0 against the Sharks, and then a pick six by the Bulldogs returned it for a 25-yard touchdown. Later in the third quarter, Summer Creek completed a 30-yard touchdown pass to extend the lead to 28 points. Summer Creek proceeded to score two more touchdowns to extend the lead to 42 points in the fourth quarter. Final score again 42-0. North Shore defeated Dallas South Oak Cliff 38-0 in their first game, led by standout QB Caleb Bailey and Ohio State commit Devin Sanchez. Next week, North Shore will face Crowley High School away on Friday, September 6th, 7 p.m. Central. I'm Matthew Wakama, reporting from Houston, Texas.
Thanks, Matthew. Pretty successful night for Shadow Creek and North Shore, as North Shore won 38-0. And, Shadow Creek lost 42-0, but that will not stop them as they will continue to carry on a successful season. And as they came out in first place in their district last year, I'm pretty hopeful that they'll figure things out during this preseason part and, get things rolling as we go. That'll be it for the post-game show tonight. Make sure you tune in to Saturday and Sunday's radio content. And thank you so much for tuning in to the Varsity Live post-game show. I'm your host, Olivia Prickett.